Right everyone, what is going on? BusterBarnes here, bringing you a little match preview for Chelsea's game later today against Luton in the FA Cup. A game that we really need to look to be winning, and a game that we definitely should win. And a lot of pressure on these recent games for Mr. Frank Lampard. But as always, I'll be going through the team news, giving you guys my predicted lineup and my predicted scoreline for the game as well. So if you do enjoy, please leave a like, comment down below your scoreline and team predictions, and as always, do subscribe for Chelsea FC content. But yeah, definitely not been the most joyous occasion as a Chelsea fan ever since December. Our form has been pretty negative. I was about to say all over the place, but let's be honest, it's been a lot more negative than positive, especially with that 2-0 defeat against Leicester. And usually, at least at this point in the season, a loss against Leicester away isn't the worst thing, but considering it's come after all of this poor form from us, it's definitely not something that we need. And the players just didn't really look up for it, and it does spell a bit of worry for our manager. Are they playing under him or not? We will have to see. But either way, it shouldn't really matter in this game. It should be a game that even on poor form, we can pick up and win. Plenty of rotation, I am sure. The only real team news to talk about, really, is Fikayo Tomori has actually gone on loan to AC Milan, which is just crazy in a multitude of ways, really, isn't it? I mean, how he hasn't really been given a chance this season, I have no clue. Obviously, was the player of the season under Frank Lampard at Derby, got a fair share of the minutes last season. Part of me wonders if since Rudiger has come in, that sort of changed things a bit. You know, maybe he has a contractual standing or some political standing as he's a German international that means that he is just, or the board are just pressuring Frank Lampard into playing him over Tomori. I don't really know, but then that also doesn't really explain why someone like Christensen is being valued over someone like Tomori either. I'm not sure if there's been a falling out between Lampard and Tomori, which he just hasn't made clear. Obviously, he said in his press conference that he has big plans for Tomori in the future. But I mean, if there's an option to buy, then how can you have big plans unless the board are doing this without Lampard? And that could definitely be a thing. We've seen the board do stuff without the managers, consent or even knowing of what's happening. So yeah, it's a shame. And to be honest, I kind of just take it, unfortunately, and as negative as it is, as Tomori's last time as a Chelsea player, really. I think he'll probably go to AC Milan, probably do very well, and they'll buy him for whatever it is, £25 million or something, which is just absolutely crazy as well for a young English centre-back who has proven that he at least has some ability. And the other scenario is just that he doesn't perform well for AC Milan. He comes back and hasn't developed at all. So yeah, a bit of a strange one, especially when you think that there was definitely Premier League teams that would have taken him on the loan. But, I guess that is what it is. Can't focus on it too much because it's basically done now. And, we don't want to add even more negativity to what has been a very rough period for us. But the other player, N'Golo Kante, who's obviously been injured, didn't really hear much on him, to be honest. I don't think he'll be playing this game anyway. I guess we'll see if he's on the bench and maybe we'll pick up some minutes. But, all I hope is that he's available for the game against Wolves. But I think Luton are actually without one of their centre-backs, by the way. I did see that note on a website. Obviously, either way, though, it's a game that we should win. It is at home. Obviously, there's no fans, though. And if we do win this game, we actually go forward against Barnsley, who, if you guys don't remember, we beat in the Carabao Cup 6-0. So a bit of a favourable draw for us so far in the FA Cup. And would definitely spell probably certain disaster for Lampard if we did slip up in either of these next two rounds. But if I do get on to my predicted starting 11, it's going to be Kepa in goal. He is the cup keeper essentially for us. Kept a clean sheet obviously against Morecambe. Bit of a sketchy moment. There'll probably be a bit of a dodgy moment in this game. Wouldn't be surprised if we conceded some calamitous goal, but who knows? He'll be in goal, should be enough to pick up the trick. And I have just put the 11 on the screen, guys, for you because this is just a quick little preview before the game starts, so I don't really want to delve too much into it. The back four is going to be fully rotated. Aspi, Emerson, Christensen and Zuma. Obviously, there's no Tomori. Christensen's apparently okay from his little injury he had. Zuma, for some reason, isn't starting in our big games. I don't know why. This kind of just leads to what I was thinking about the Rudiger thing. Is there something a bit political in that? Because you can't be telling me that our losses have been caused by Kurt Zuma. You can't be telling me that. I don't understand. And in my opinion, in a time where we're struggling to maybe score and create things from open play. One thing that we've been good at this season is set pieces, and who scored the multitude of our set pieces? It's been Kurt Zouma. So not having him in the team is a very baffling choice, and hopefully we see him in again against Wolves. The midfield, I've put Jorginho, Gilmour and Havertz. Should be enough to get the win. We could actually see a 4-2-3-1 with a Jorginho and Gilmour pivot now. Obviously, they're both quite similar, and you don't really want to see a pivot of them, but I think against a team like Luton, it should be okay, and it would mean that Havertz could get further forward. Front three, what did struggle a little bit, obviously Ziyech was going to start because he didn't start against Leicester, but Giroud was apparently just a bit injured before that game, but apparently he's fine now, which does mean Werner goes to the left. Obviously he didn't start as well. We could see Werner up front and see a Hudson-Odoi or Pulisic on the wing, if Lampard does still want to try and push Werner as that central striker. We could see a bit of a change up of formation. Maybe we see a sort of 4-2-2-2 with Ziyech and Havertz, with Werner and Giroud both up top as a front two. We could definitely see that as well. So a few things that we can do formation-wise with this team. And I know a lot of people have been talking about maybe formations that 4-3-3 might not be as good as what we thought. To be honest, I don't think formation really matters because you can just adapt it during the games. We've seen Lampard do that. I think a pretty big issue for us recently has, well, it's been two things, I think. Injuries have definitely played their hand. Obviously, in our last 5 games, players like Reece James, Ziyech, Kante have all been out. They're all important players for us. Reece James does need to try and get back to fitness because he hasn't been quite the same since that injury he had. And also, I think that Lampard has made 1 or 2 dodgy decisions. I think Kovacic in the 6, when he hasn't played there at all, really, was an interesting one against Leicester. I think Rudiger coming back into the team, like I said, is baffling. I think Pulisic continuing to start when he's just not on form. Like, don't get me wrong, he can create something from nothing still, but his end product in the final third just is not there. So, yeah, Lampard really needs to sort out his decisions. I mean, it's understandable because he's an inexperienced manager. He's probably panicking a bit because of the situation he's in. So, you can't necessarily blame him. And, I mean, what did we expect, guys? He's an inexperienced manager. It was going to take time. We wanted to, or we bought into the idea of seeing him grow with the team. And yes, he's in a bit of a rough moment, but if he does get out of it, I mean, that's the ultimate growth there is, surely. So, yeah, but I mean, it all depends. I think out of our next 6 games, not including Luton, we have like Wolves at home, Burnley at home, Spurs and Sheffield away, and then I think we have Southampton away and someone else like at home. I think it might be someone like Newcastle. Out of those games, we need to at least probably be winning 5 of those if Lampard is to stay. I know not all of us want Lampard to stay, but I mean, he's the Chelsea manager at the moment. You've got to support the club. You've got to support everyone who's in it, and hope that we just keep picking up the wins. Obviously, I want Lampard to stay. He is a legend, and he did overachieve with us last season, and I think he's smart enough to turn things around, and I don't think it's a situation of maybe the players not liking him and not playing under him. I think it's just that we've hit a very big rough patch of form, and maybe he doesn't quite have the experience yet to deal with that. But all it will take is 1 or 2 wins in a row, or 1 big win to try and turn things around. And Wolves would be quite a big win, to be fair, even though of their placement they're quite a good team, so hopefully that can happen. But obviously this game against Luton should be an easy win. If we're not winning this game, I have no clue what's happening, yeah, we should advance to the next round of the FA Cup. If I get into a predicted scoreline, I think I will go with a 4-0 win. I think it'll be pretty standard, and I think that we should control most of the game. I think we've got some decent firepower attacking, especially if we go for 4-2-3-1 with Havertz up there as well. I think I'll go for a Giroud brace, a Werner goal, and maybe a Jorginho penalty or something like that. I don't know, maybe Werner would take the penalty. I guess we will see. That would be very interesting if they do both start this game to see who's up top in that pecking order. I definitely have Werner take it because he needs the goals. So just a note there to Chelsea, do let Werner take the penalties. Obviously if he misses, that's not very good, but let's hope that doesn't happen. But yeah guys, 4-0 win for me. This is my predicted 11. Let me know your guys in the comments down below. My review for this match will be up after it does take place, so stay tuned for that. I do hope you guys do have a nice day. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.